The elusive monster of the Bitcoin spot ETF and the path for how this is going to happen has never been clearer than it is today. We also have an inside look at what's actually happening with the FTX sell-off as mainstream investors are getting ready to get pounded. Speaking of which, we have a debacle in the Senate, which turned into a very shitty situation over the weekend. All this and more on today's Blockchain Basement. We are the bread and butter of all the information that's been swimming across the internet for crypto news.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What do you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Over 2 years, he's made like 17K on Roblox. And he's
What?
Like 12.
You never listen to me, and we must be married. Yeah, well, how much are you investing? $100.
400 to 600,000. The generational signals are now. Now.
You're spread so thin, that's how you get in on Snake. Snake's been my biggest winner.
Oh, yes. Yes. We have the crew. I called Biscuit Jesus many times this morning. Completely forgot he's out there handling, he's like a director for Magic the Gathering card things. And he's out there, I think he's actually in Vegas or something like that, floating around town. We got Morel up in here. We got the Hannah. We got Owen, who might need some extra motivation later on in the stream, if you know what I mean. So, you know, we're staying ready for it. He might need a little wake-up call.
Stay strapped.
DOD Slave, we are not playing the video, but we will talk about it a little bit here. You got to conversate about this. Hannah, how are you doing? How's your weekend? It's the holidays. We got good Christmas feels going on. If you're not paying attention, like, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I
feeling
went
good?
ice skating, did some festive activities, so that was fun.
Okay.
Good weekend, good Christmas.
You're an ice skater. Are you like a good ice skater, or are you just like a hobbyist? Okay.
Like 60%, I would say.
Well, if you didn't fall, and I would get wrecked.
Fell once.
I would get wrecked. You fell once?
Yeah, because we were all trying to hold hands, and
It's the worst thing to do in any sport, to hold hands. Bad things.
Morel, how are you doing, man? What do you got planned for I mean, I know it's just the weekend. Did you do anything fun? Did you get in the holiday spirit?
What's up, Crimson? I took the weekend off of crypto and I played iRacing all weekend. I bought a $300 and almost $400 racing wheel a couple weeks ago, and I've been trying to play on Forza. Turns out Forza just sucks ass, and went to play iRacing.
You were showing me that game that you were playing.
So I'm doing iRacing now, trying to get licenses and move up the ranks. I mean, professional race car drivers play that game.
It looked pretty legit.
Yeah, like Max Verstappen was playing on Saturday night.
Okay.
So
I might want to play something like that. I mean,
It'd be fun.
my weekend, I set up a trampoline for the kids, which they just absolutely loved. It's hard to get them off there. And then we set up a bed for the babies, got a new bed for the babies and ripped the old ones down. Did a little bit of revamp to the kids' rooms, but it was just, I could feel it in the air, man. We were making cocoa and like, eating cookies. It was like all the good feels that you like imagine should be there during the holidays. So hopefully all y'all in the chat had the similar style of weekend as we approach the holidays. Granny's Garden, Sid and Diesel, Deucey Does Crypto, Deadwood, Mike Bennett, Crypto Stevo. I did not see that. But maybe I'll take a listen, see what he's railing about there. But you can expect the same from something of a past generation, right? Now the crypto markets for me this weekend, absolutely insane. Bitcoin, as you know, shaved off a little bit, but guess what? ICP, something that I hammered into, I let everyone know as I hammered into it, right around $3.50. This thing had a really, really good weekend. Just checking it out. So we're sitting here holding this thing from the original buy point, 350. I think it was more than a month ago. Let's see if this thing can go back that far for me. It was right at like the peak right as it broke out of the 360. So this little shelf here. Since then, we're quite up. Now, people going nuts about ICP. In the past, there's been a lot of FUD against ICP and what they do. Really, it's a combination of if there's a large contingent of people that are FUDish against the project, but the project has an underlying actual use case. That's what I'm about it. It has, we talk about this all the time. The original arbitration that it had with leverage traded positions from Alameda really makes this graph pretty useless, honestly, if you're really looking at it from the forest to the trees. So I am still holding my ICP, took profits off. Everything that I have remaining in ICP and Avalanche at this point is a moon bag. Basically, it is, I wait till a triple or a quadruple up on the project, and then I pull out my original investment, and everything from then on is basically just, it's cherry on the cake, right? It's there as my moon bag, and I've already taken my original investment out. So that's a way that I can, additionally to like paying attention to the markets, every day, every week, like we do here. If you're in the situation where you're just getting into crypto, maybe this is your first, awesome timing if this is your first kind of up and come to a bull market. But really a good way that I found in the past is by pulling that original level of investment out once I hit the 3x, 4x level. And then the remainder can just ride in the background for me all the way to the bull market time frame, a year and a half, 2 years from now. And I'm targeting front end or mid 2025 to be unloading the remaining bag of ICP that I have. So long-windedly, that's why I'm not worried about the price going up or down, especially now because I've already got my profits locked in. And, really it's just it's a feisty potential here. And it really like the context of what we're talking about with these spot Bitcoin ETF applications moving forward and being approved, but now they have additional conversation about Ethereum ETFs, and most likely we're going to see at least applications for Solana and AVAX ETFs as well. Those are the kind of four, in my mind, the four projects that have been discussed most heavily by the mainstream media, the most normalized by people outside of crypto. So those are the projects that I am expecting to at least have the narrative that they're going for an ETF pop up in 2024. And now, just to tell you on the Underscope how they're preparing the public for this, grayscale retail GBTC ads are now showing up all over the web. I did see these myself when I was just browsing around the internet this weekend. Just pretty dang exciting to see this come about. And then we also had the most interesting man in the world come out with a pretty amazing, it was just a very short commercial, but it's really like this is such a well-known figure that this is why I get excited about this. It's a massive, massive figure that regular people are going to be able to figure out what the context of this combo is. Let's have a listen.
what's interesting these days? Bitcoin. Look for Bitwise, my friends.
Love it.
I
love it too. Love it.
And then they're using the QR codes. On my face just covered it up, but they got a little QR code here. This will be, people that are just outside of crypto, the QR code in and of itself is going to be mind-boggling for a lot of people when they start getting into use of, crypto applications, or if they're trying to, send a transfer from one to the other, and they realize that QR codes are the way that this is all kind of streamlined. It's going to be mind-boggling. So to see that they're laying the groundwork for this while the prices are pretty much relatively down from the all-time high, they're preparing for something big. The powers that be know that this ETF is coming, in my opinion, and this is just further compounding of that. It's coming. We had this come from a Grayscale CEO this morning. This broke right before we went live, so we'll pull this big screen and see what you got to say. Let's live.
65,000, 100,000. I don't know what you think it is in the cards, but what do you think it's already in the asset right now? If you want to call it an asset, is it already there? Once it happens, do you expect it to go to new highs, or it just seems like we've already paid a lot of it forward with the move we saw from? I mean, it was as low as 17,000 this year.
Sure. Well, Joe, I'm not one to make price predictions, but I do think there is a lot of optimism again in the market. I think a lot of investors are adding Bitcoin to their portfolios. And when we look ahead to the hopeful approval for spot Bitcoin ETFs, it really is going to unlock the opportunity to a part of the investment community that, for better or worse, but I would say for worse, has unfortunately been locked out of the opportunity to participate in having Bitcoin exposure in their portfolios. So we're really talking about the advised market here in the US, which is today about $30 trillion worth of advised wealth that we hope the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs, the uplisting of GBTC, will allow for that opportunity and for those investors to partake in it as well.
$30 trillion. $30 trillion. Able to be invested into crypto by major asset managers that have 10 reasons to Sunday to change up their investment strategies after commercial real estate is kicking them in the nether regions, and they also are losing their asses on other, unregulated securities, believe it or not. But mostly within the commercial real estate has been pounding traditional investment firms. So the vehicle for an aggressive and inflationary outpacing asset is there. To ignore that kind of pain that is underlying on our banking infrastructure right now would take away a lot of the reasoning for why they would allow, these massive investment allocations to even have a chance to invest in Bitcoin if it can outpace the US dollar, things of that. You go down that complete rabbit hole, but you have to look at the pain that's already existing in the underlying banking and financial infrastructure to make reason for why this situation is even possible. And now we see this coming out on was a Squawk Box, the most interesting man in the world overnight. The one thing that is kind of striking me weird is last week CNBC came out talking about the Bitcoin halving well ahead of it actually happening. And essentially it was interesting for me to see mainstream publications come out and talk about Bitcoin when it's actually a good time to talk about it. Usually in the past cycles, they come out right as, you're near all-time highs, and it goes across the internet. A lot of people get in at the wrong time. Now I'm seeing a little bit more savvy approach to finance, dare I say, from the mainstream media. Maybe they have learned their lesson being woke and going broke long enough, and all of these failed ESG investments to finally pull their heads out of their asses and be competitive with China, who essentially has been doing lockdowns on crypto when it's at its highs and opening the gates to it when it's at its lows. Some 6D chess stuff going on in the background. So, seeing all of this, now I am much, okay, so I'm going to ask you, Morel, but as far as it sits right now, I feel like we're about 90% going to get a spot Bitcoin ETF. This has been something that we've wanted in crypto for a long time though. So it feels weird saying that, but a lot of things have changed my opinion. Morel, where do you stand on this Bitcoin spot ETF thing? Do you think we're going to get a spot ETF in 2024 approved, or is this just more delay and kind of blue ball situation that we've seen at the SEC?
I would have to say I think it will be approved. If it doesn't get approved in the early spring, there's definitely going to be some radical and violent manipulation that goes on.
That's the worry.
That might still go on anyway. But again, it's, buy buy the news, sell the news or event or whatnot. I think if it gets approved, we'll see new all-time highs before the end of the year, or 2024.
Yeah, because they're slated times January 10th when they're thinking about approving it. You know what I mean? It just seems so soon.
If it gets approved, then kudos to everyone involved. I'm all down for it. I'm not sure if it'll get approved that soon because it's so close, and if it doesn't get approved, it sets the stage for the market volatility. Doesn't get approved, market crashes, and then a week later or a month later, it gets approved, market shoots back up.
Right.
So it's setting the stage now.
You're bringing up something really good that a lot of people are paying attention to as well. They're talking about if we get denied, say let's get a delay in January, which I half-heartedly do expect a delay of some sort in January, but then a denial in March, which is hard for me to think that they would do, but it is a potential. There's a few things that happen in March next year, like the bank term funding program that's the backstop for the banking industry right now that's hoisting up these banks from all the problems I listed to you just a few minutes ago, as far as the unrealized and realized losses. Then that ends in March as well. But if they do deny that ETF right around March of 2024, we could easily be at least testing this level at $30,000. Because when you back up and you look at this thing just on the monthly price action, it's been a hot and heavy month. It really, really has. This is the year in Bitcoin. I like just kind of looking at the year focused here. March 10th kicks off the banking crisis. Then you have Evergrande happen right here before this gigantic flag. But now you're coming up to that point. March would be that time frame, and it's not that crazy to think about Bitcoin price coming back down to this level should it be denied.
Not at all, especially with that single print camera.
Absolutely. This is just good context. This is on the daily chart.
Yeah.
And you have one day that literally just skyrocket. Yes, you have this huge volume kind of gap, basically. It's just very little buying action happened right there, so it teleported, as Mr. Candle says. But essentially, from this point, I've been operating as, this upper channel being kind of my support line for Bitcoin. It's worked out so far. I did do some trades this weekend and this morning that went pretty good using this. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit and go to the 15-minute. We're right on top of that trend line I've been using here. So, it is a little bit frisky. It's getting close to dropping below this trend line. It did momentarily, as you can see. I think this was last night. This is where I got in on a few scalp longs, then got out of them right around here. Since then has kept going on up. Again, I mentioned I'm scalp longing, so I'm in and out, taking my profits, setting my something I like to do is because I'm not able to just stare at the charts 100% of the time. I like to get into profit, then lock my stop loss in just barely profit and let the rest of the trade try to play out that way. Just lets me sleep a little bit better at night, and
smart man.
It's pretty easy to do on Blofin. So, I don't try to win everything. It's not to hell or back. I keep those stop losses basically in profit slightly, and then I'm able to kind of walk away from it and not worry about it so much. The question is, do you believe that we might touch 39K before the halving? We could definitely touch 39K before the halving. The halving is it's April 20th.
We're at 41 right now.
Yeah, we're at 41.
Yeah,
and if
at least touch it and then bounce back.
And if you
up
look at
on-
all those past halving cycles and whatnot, there's usually some sort of dip right before it happens.
Yes.
Some of them have been massive, and some of them have just been 20-30%, but some of them been 60-70% right before they V-shape and shoot right back up.
Let me see what American Pool Guy's saying here. Aside from the objective reasons to get into crypto, what about strats? I think for those of us who want to reach out to more emotional family that we want to reach or get through to.
Strategies.
Yeah. This is a thing. Because you have family members that are like emotionally opposed to this. And they're in a situation where they're losing in the traditional ways that they've been taught to exist in. That's a little bit of a hard pill to swallow as you go through it and experience it. Man, I mean,
honestly, the only thing you can really do is maybe create a crypto wallet for them.
Yeah.
And then put 20, 30, whatever you can afford in the wallet for them, and write down the day or whatever that you do it. And then in 6 months, give it to them and be like, hey, I put $20 in it. This is what it is now.
Well, and it could be a little example, but if this halving pullback happens right on that time frame, be like, hey, I lost half your $20.
But that's what I'm saying. You got to show them somehow.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that. I mean, this is an interesting thing to think about. You know, it's awesome to see Bitcoin's price being aggressive. Is thinking about falling down to 39 right around the halving. That's great price action if you think about it. What also on my mind, you know, in this slight upheaval and resurgence within Bitcoin on the graph I just showed you, we've seen AVAX move from $10 to $44, right? We've seen Solana move from $9 to $73, right? You have ICP from, you know, $250 all the way up to $10, $12. So there are projects that are shining a little bit more than Bitcoin right now. They're showing a lot more upward velocity potential, like the ones I listed. Chainlink, obviously, I feel great about that one. But then, you know, within the Solana and AVAX ecosystems, there are some really sneaky picks, and the Cardano ecosystem, that snake pick going absolutely nuts. But then you saw a dog with hat, you know, last week, absolutely crushing out of Solana. Cat with hat, you know, I mean, so chaos is coming back. Maybe you can also talk to them about the level of chaos that they're witnessing right now within the halls of the Senate, potentially. Maybe bring up the absolute chaos that our actual political legislators having happen inside of the walls of what should have been the most trusted infrastructure on the planet. And, you know, I don't want to play the video or anything like that, but I do have a exclusive interview. You know, I heard that basically it's not going to be too hard for the White House staffer to pack up. He did get fired, but you know, he already had his shit packed, so it's not really that hard of process for him to leave the White House. But Mr. Hankey, how are you doing, sir? What are you? Welcome. Now, if you may, Mr. Hankey, in one or two simple words, can you explain to me what it was like? All right, we're getting him out of here. I'm going to get banned. Just explain how chaotic the real life situation is right now around him. Like, you know, you can also, I mean, you could do the kind of example by buying something and, you know, showing them the price action over time. That's a good idea. You could also, you know, just remind them of what actual inflation is. This is from Crypto Billy. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Follow him at Billy Goat Tails. Wonderful, wonderful person. This is where inflation is and isn't. Now, where it's not is the funny part. It's airfare. Airfare's gotten cheaper. Rental cars, used vehicles, gasoline getting cheaper from draining our strategic reserves. But there is a potential that our Keystone Pipeline will be turned back on to its full capacity in the near term. So we are trying to fight back on our own oil and gasoline production, which is nice to see. But toys, do they really need toys? You know, the loss of inflation is mostly paired to airfare and kind of leisure stuff, rental cars. Now, used vehicles, this one we saw, this is from the lockup at the auctions, basically, where it was too expensive for, you know, dealers to buy the vehicles. And, you know, the auctions were demanding that high level. But really where it really is going up, this is the 12-month change. So over the last year, your rent has gone up by 7%. You know, all of these things that have increased just over the short period of a year. This is the best way for me to basically be able to explain the situation in a simple manner to people that are even aggressively opposed to me wearing this Bitcoin shirt. I keep getting asked about the Bitcoin hoodie. This is the best kind of conversation starter right here. You wear this into a gas station, you wear this to a school event or whatever, and this type of in-person interaction and just conversating with people and reminding them about what things used to cost, right? And another way for us crypto folks here to look at this, I mean, we've seen it with this huge debacle that's rolling out with the FTX asset liquidation process, right? Where we have a situation. I mean, I'll read through this post from Marty Party first, but then give my 2 cents on it. FTX bankruptcy crypto asset liquidation data is in beyond comprehension. How this makes any sense, but here are the facts. Solana, $325 million of it sold at $21, $1 billion worth at 68, and 1.1 billion at 73. Along with Bitcoin and ETH and others, this will go down as one of the most idiotic financial exercises in history. Now you know where those sell walls came from. Of course, Gary Gensler out here protecting absolutely no one. Nick, thank God, he highlighted the fact that there was a no action relief given to Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX 1 year before their cataclysmic downfall. Meaning, hi, we're from the SEC, and I'm going to have a meeting to verify that I am not going to look at anything you're doing. That's what I'm here for. That's what a no action relief is. This, essentially, in my mind, what happened here is that regular people put their money into FTX. FTX stole your money, used it to buy out your elections and to influence the next pandemic. Then, once they're caught, the liquidation process goes as follows. Okay, you have some Ethereum that's in the pool of FTX holdings. At the time, it was worth, say, $1,000, right? So they lock in that repayment of $1,000. Meanwhile, Ethereum, the Ethereum that's yours, that should have been yours in your hands, has since skyrocketed from those low levels where your funds were locked by a complete scammer that sold us out far down the river, and we're still paying political repercussions for that. And I still haven't seen a damn bit of repayments from these political people on both sides of the aisle from receiving our stolen funds. Then we get to watch the assets climb while the retribution asset, relinquishment basically is stuck at a third of the value. So we're getting, I want to curse right now, but I'm not going to. This is how you get effed right in front of the public. Everyone knows about it, and yet there is still nothing done. It's the collars, the shirts. They're paying more in legal fees than they are willing to pay back the people that absolutely got wrecked by this thing. And not just the people that got wrecked by having their money stolen by Sam, but also the entire American public's future is in the short term very wrecked. If you can notice what Bidenomics has done, it hasn't been that great. So seeing the results of what Sam bought out and this sloth-like movement in repaying and doing anything right after it's verified one of the biggest frauds in the human history, not just American history, human history. It's just absolutely disgusting, you guys. Like it makes me very, very upset. I try not to get too riled up about it. But it really hurts to see this process kind of play out the way it has. And so I hope that, when you're across the table from your loved ones and they're sitting here talking about how difficult this process has been, remind them of all the things that have been voted in, all the things that we let slide as the American people, because it's on our shoulders. We need to hold this system accountable. It's up to us. It's not, we just have to hope that there's some kind of government that has good feelings and, intentions for us. It's up to us to make sure that they know we're watching and that we know that they won't, that we just will not allow them to obfuscate this way. It's absolutely disgusting to see. So, I won't get too wrapped up in it, but God dang, that got my goat going here. I'm sorry, Hannah. I'm just, I'm just ranting, So yeah, I mean, we got some more stuff. Average home payment is higher than, it hasn't been in a long time. Let's see here. Average home payment for a home buyer hits a record $3,300 per month. Dang, that's the average. Meanwhile, average cost to rent is at $21,800. I'm not so keen on renting out properties literally anymore. It's now less affordable than any time in history to pay or to buy a home in the US. That's if you are using a loan. Really, the goal here in crypto is to make buku bucks, so we're not using loans and not continuing the gigantic monetary centipede that has created this problem in the first place. So
hashtag buku bucks.
Yeah, buku bucks. You know, where's Mr. Hanky when you need him? You know what I mean? There he is. Oh yeah. God bless you. God bless you. This is interesting. So we had traffic really getting crazy this weekend for NFT inscriptions on Avalanche, ZK Sync, Gnosis, Arbitrum, BNB. So essentially what I saw as well was a couple people trying to do Avalanche transactions that were like $500 in gas fees this weekend to try to get out of their positions. That's something interesting to think about, right? Like we have basically, I say this often, but we build all of these super fancy looking, awesome colors, high speed layer ones, right? For Web3. And we're going to employ these Web3 layer ones onto the public. But then we haven't built the road for the supercar to drive on. You know what I mean? The infrastructure, the internet infrastructure that these Web3 systems are trying to apply to is a Web 2 infrastructure. It's a dirt road, if you want to use hillbilly metaphoricals there. And so that's where my mind comes and my bullishness on Chainlink for the data aggregation. You got to crawl before you can walk. You got to get the data there fast and accurate. Then ICP, because it's an actual independent server system. It's not like AWS where those, proprietary data farms have that information and it's housed there. And if they go down, everything goes down with it. ICP is going for something different, a true decentralized internet. That's a big, big thing to try to handle or go for, but I like the idea of it. You know what I mean? I like the idea of not being stuck to basically one system. So when I see this gigantic, traffic jam basically in Avalanche, I don't think Solana was in on that high fees though. Just came to drop the Jesus coin. Hello, what's up, Leak? Halafi. Maybe I'll check out how the Graph's doing on my late night, man. That one's been, I hope he's coming back soon. He always comes back, but I hate soon. Oh, man. Yeah, that's the thing. So we have this, during the next bull run, we're going to look into some Solana degen coins here, guys. Okay. This is, I mentioned Dog with Hat. BJ was talking about Dog with Hat. He hammered into it and is killing it on it. I think he's in with Cat with Hat as well. Let's see what this guy's got, though. I like these, the Smart Ape, always got good tweets. Best thing to do and this is in context if you're not trying to protect a gargantuan amount of capital. If we're in it to win it, we're in the middle class, lower class, looking for our biscuit, and we're willing to risk it, then this is where we go. Top 10 low caps on Solana, ready to take off. Let's check out what we got here. All right, so we already know this. It's got low transaction fees. It's pretty fast. That's why it didn't clog up the way everything else did. Jupiter Exchange. I've heard a lot of people talking about Jupiter Exchange. It's helping you get world-class experiences, yada, yada. But the thing about this is I've actually seen a lot of people using it. So it's just got basic taglines and all that stuff. Let's see how big the actual, 122K. It's growing pretty darn fast. Check the engagement, only 100 there. This is growing. It's nothing huge yet. Keeping that in mind. Let's see here. I already covered that one on the morning stream. So the token JLP. Let's go in here. Just check out the graph. It hasn't ran too far out of hand here. It has not ran too far. JLP on the watch list here. Private liquidity pool for Dark Protocol. Decentralized SPL token issued via governance. Currency that is composable, leveraged smart contracts, and is backed by a protocol of many pairs. Token Dark. Okay. I kind of like heavy metal, so I might like that one. The market cap, only $10 million, though. That's why I like looking at these things. Very movable. We see a lot of juice coming in for Solana. Decimated the game. A post-apocalyptic cyberpunk survival game. Persistent online world. What is this? Let's check this out. Wish this was less jumpy. What do we got here? Kind of looks cool. I don't know. This might be some. This is it's kind of jumpy though. I want to go here. Let's see what this game's about. Because I like Shrapnel. You know what I mean? Like that Shrapnel game looks like it's doing a good job too. Let's see what we got here. diving in live research, see what I got. Persistent online world, Unreal Engine, built on Unreal Engine. Okay.
That's promising.
That is pretty promising here. It looks pretty. So this is what should have been showing. This is a lot smoother. This looks good. This is the type of stuff. I think Shrapnel and some of this Decimated would be my gaming picks. Well, the Shrapnel out of AVAX and then Decimated for Solana. Let's see. Where is the... I'm going to find... So the token is Dio. Market cap just under 20 million. Okay, good. So yeah, still very movable on the Dio token. I like that gameplay. That looked pretty smooth. Let's see another one. KNK. What is this one for? Kineko. Crypto betting platform. Okay, betting platform. We know. Oh my God. Okay, 6,000 followers. Very, very new. This one, I wonder how big the market cap is.
If it's anything like that other gambling token Nick put into.
I know. Winner was crushing. Winner crushed. Right? Winner crush.
For real.
I wonder if Winner's come back down yet. Now you got me sidetracked here. Hold on. That was awesome. Where is this? There it is. Winner protocol. Down 6% on the day. Let's see what we got. We got a decent pullback or what? What's going on here? All right. We'll pull back, but consolidation. All right. So here's the Nick Demondi shout out. He single-handedly moved the entire market. And then we have a little bit of consolidation here. Not bad. I wonder where the market cap is on this one. Yeah, to around 22 million as well. That's interesting. You see a couple of these upcoming betting platforms right in the 20 million mark, given the run. Mango Markets. This is another one that I've been hearing a lot about. Single value to lend.
I heard about Mango back in the 2020.
Do you really?
Yeah. It may have been Justin talking about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I remember him saying saying something about it.
And it's got a $30 million market cap. This one looks pretty nice too. That's a lending protocol in Solana. If you're into, if you're stuck to one chain, then it's always nice to look beyond what's like the basic token. But also for people that are outside of, Solana like myself, or if, you missed out on AVAX, one or the other. If you missed out on any of the ecosystems, it's always better to not chase that direct token that is kind of the main pillar of the blockchain, but rather those infrastructure plays, things built around it. In my past, they've had better juice for their squeeze after that initial token run up, like we've seen with Solana and Avalanche for sure. So, God, we have another one for BRC20 token sector. Let's just do a quick view because I know a lot of people look at these BRCs. The thing about BRCs is I'm mad because I tried to hammer in when Ordies literally just came out and it was super difficult to get into, and I got sidetracked, distracted, just moved on. So it was my own dang fault. Yeah, this is the pain though. This is the pain here. $3. I was trying to slam into this stinking project at $3. It is now $49. Unbelievable. So let's look at what else here, because I don't think BRCs are done. They're like a very effective attack. That's really not an attack. It's a stress test, and there will be things adjusted in the future to handle the volume of them as far as the hash rate and all that stuff goes. That whole battle that's going on, I think is going to get solved in just a little bit of time. We have Ordi, obviously, I just looked at, unbelievable, but Mubi, okay, multi-bit bridge, dual-sided bridge designed for easy cross-network transfers. I like that between BRC and ERC20 tokens. I like the use case for this one a lot. Right out of the gates, that's useful. Then we have, let's see here, Dova, first lending protocol. Okay, so we just saw the lending protocol on Solana's ecosystem. Now you see this Dova within the BRC20 protocol. Very, very interesting play to make. Obviously this is very, very new stuff, probably a very small market cap. When I'm looking at all these things, I'm in the mindset, okay, what am I going to turn maybe 1%, maybe 2% of my total holdings into? Okay. So I just want to preface it that way. Don't go hammering everything into, in any one of these projects. Okay. You want to be, when you're looking at market caps this small, you want to have a little bit of a degree of diversification. So let's see here. We got the NX Hub, first platform for aggregating data. on various platforms like Magic Eden, OKX, and Unisat wallet. Unisat's a pretty big one. Unisat's actually where I tried to hammer into the ordies. God, unbelievable. Provides single user-friendly interface. Yeah, so that's going to be a thing. If they're interfacing with Eden and OKX and Unisat, that's going to be a mover. So those are going to be, I get a lot of people asking me about ordies or BRC20 tokens. And kind of what I said about ICP. I see a lot of people fudding or going against it and being aggravated by them. I saw the same kind of aggravation come out from the crypto community when NFTs came about. I remember the complete confusion that crypto Twitter had when NFTs originally broke into the scene. And now I'm basically, anytime I see that massive push for FUD, it kind of makes me want to buy it a little bit. And that's just based on price performance, and usually the consortium or the herd is wrong. So and let us know in the chat. Are you bullish on BRC20 tokens? Let me know down in the comments section if you're looking at any BRC20 tokens. This is a very, very interesting point for crypto history. Trying to add meme tokens and all kinds of crazy, crazy stuff onto Bitcoin. Here's a pick from Satoshi Flipper, a pick that I talked about a while back. I'll probably revisit the graph. He's talking about betting on AEGIS, Aegis AI, team of gigabrains by his account that are revolutionizing security. Let's see here. That was what it was about. It was the data security that I liked about this project. Let me see here. AI-enabled audit solutions. That would be pretty useful. You've seen a lot of people complaining about couldn't get the contract audited in time. Wasn't that crypto? Did you see BitLord this weekend, Hannah? There's like this, they were trying to produce like this dog meme token, and then ShibLord was like supposed to deliver the project, and his excuse was that they couldn't audit it in time, and they had like millions and millions of dollars. Yeah, isn't that something?
Not funny.
Oh man, Rodney still showed out though, still represented the dog community. You know what I mean? So good on him. Let's look at the AEGIS. I can't even say that. AEGIS graph though. Aegis AI. Let's check out where this price action. God damn! Unbelievable. Okay, hold on. This is unwell. So this isn't much price action to go off of because it is a pretty new token. Got about 3 months. Really quite a coil pattern to go on there.
Not even 3 months?
Wow.
Yeah, that's
November the 25th.
That's not much here. And he's looking at the same thing. He's kind of comparing it to Link a little bit, actually. But you can't, it's hard to make that direct connection because it's such a new project. When I get down to the projects this size, I usually can operate just off of market cap. I don't even get the market cap. I wonder if CoinMarketCap would have it. Let's see. As I did like this project, very bullish on things that are trying to fix data security problems. God dang. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Okay. So it's this is one that I'm probably going to have to wait and try to get anywhere within the red on it to be able to move about 19 cents. But yeah, not going to be sleeping on that one either. I've seen Satoshi Flipper has a pretty similar kind of market sentiment as myself. And, it's just interesting seeing him call out the project kind of at the same time I was thinking. This is another game coming out. Johnny wanted me to take a look at. I wonder what this is. It's Meta. Okay, here it is. Cocody game. That's what it goes by. Pretty new account, only 6,900 followers. The gameplay looks pretty smooth. It looks almost like a Legends of Zelda.
It looks like the popular one that everybody plays.
What's that?
I can't think of it.
Fortnite, maybe?
Fortnite, that's what it looks like.
It doesn't really. I've never played Fortnite.
Looks like
What do you think, Owen? Does it look like Fortnite? He does.
It does.
Okay. We got the young crowd saying it does. I like this. I've never played Zelda. I literally just bought a Nintendo Switch. And I've bought Zelda.
You should definitely play it.
Is that a Christmas present?
It is.
For your kids?
Yes.
Aww.
Yeah, but I'm going to steal it.
Oh, you should definitely do it.
Get some games.
I'm going to let him open it, and I'll be like, give me that. No.
Get Animal Crossing for your girls.
Animal Crossing?
Yeah, that was my fave.
Let me know in the chat which game I should be getting my kids. For Nintendo Switch, they don't play mini games. This is a big step for me to allow them to have a video game console in general. Let me know which one. I got Legend of Zelda.
Have you given them the gel blasters?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say
yeah,
if you hadn't, you could swap it out. But
these things are sick, dude. Yeah, these.
Yeah, that's a good present.
Those they light up. Shame on me. Oh, I know. I get the shame. I haven't played Zelda. I was a Pokemon maxi. You know what I mean? It kept me out of Magic the Gathering. I had Magic the Gathering card people trying to get me in on the club. Like, no, you guys, I got it figured out. I got a Pikachu here.
I had never heard of Magic the Gathering until DZ, and then I found out that Post Malone is like one of the biggest Magic the Gathering players. I cannot figure out my...
You didn't hear about Magic till DZ?
No, I didn't know what it was, and then I found out it was huge.
Whoa.
It's quite big and been going around for a while.
Wow, that's a trip. That's where Mount Gox came from.
I knew about Pokemon. Mount Gox.
Yeah, Mount Gox was
Magic the Gathering, Mount Gox.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they named it after that, or what?
It was a thing for Magic before it was for Bitcoin.
Oh, I didn't know.
It's it's an incestuous relationship.
Yeah, it was literally.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You didn't know that. That's kind of a trip. We are early.
Magic the Gathering online. Mount Gox.
Yeah, I didn't know. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Did you guys see this? This morning, a car plowed into the SUV that was guarding President Joe Biden.
What?
No worries. Didn't look like it was a nefarious / attempt on the president. The funny part was that he was being heckled for being such a terrible president right as it happened as well. So he was quite distracted, disoriented, understandably so, getting yelled at for policy, and then a car just slams into his stuff. So, a little bit.
How does that happen by accident?
It was in Maryland. It was in a high crime area. He's experiencing Bidenomics, is what he's experiencing. This is a live action view of Bidenomics,
Taste
how
of
your
your
policies
own
are going. Just a little taste of the reality for him.
That's hilarious.
This is sad. Okay, so think of this as your favorite L1s. Let's go here. So don't make eye contact. This is the power plug, female and male. We got all of these lost souls of information being shared, absolutely useless these days. And we have to keep in context, Bitcoin is the power, the source, and all of these other systems that we're bullish on, like Avalanche and ICP and Solana, in 10 years' time will likely be just like this. So when you have that blow off top moment in the next bull market cycle, don't marry the altcoin, please. Just take the profit. You can't live inside an altcoin. I've seen so many people over multiple cycles just get completely transfixed on one particular project being the future of finance and taking over everything, and then they fall to the wayside. It happens all the time. We see the same problem happen with people that have been mega giga bullish on Litecoin or Ethereum Classic or whatever you have it. Bitcoin is the bread and butter of the cryptocurrency industry and ecosystem at large. All these other things, yes, they make great money and the right time frames. They can also lose a lot of money in the wrong time frame. So when we do hit that blow off top moment, for the love of God, please take profits out of the mains. Even if anything that's not named Bitcoin, I'm taking profits out of. And even if it is Bitcoin, I can't live in a Bitcoin. Can I?
Period.
You know what I mean? Like, change your life with this stuff, like physically. Then you will feel insanely, so much better about life if you're just changing your life as you go. Like, as I said, with you hit the triple up, take the profits, take the money that you put into the project initially, and then let the rest ride. The ideal situation for me is to have 2/3 to 3/4 of what I purchased riding off into the sunset into the next bull market cycle top for me, holding on to my original investment, fixing up the house, doing the things at home, keeping the people around me happy, man. That's what matters. We're not in here to stare at coins and graphs and feel good and get that dopamine within ourselves. Make an impact on the people around you. You know what I mean? Like, be that steward. Be that light as people need it, man. The economic times, obviously, they're difficult. The world needs people that are strong, that are focused, and at times it pays to be stubborn. This is kind of weird.
Good message.
You think so? Is that a good message?
Agreed.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. Scientists in Taiwan added jellyfish genes to carp to the DNA of carp, resulting in glowing fish.
Oh my god!
How fun is this, right?
That's cool.
I would want some glowing fish.
Honestly,
in my
it
pond.
looks cool as hell.
Right?
It looks really dope.
I wonder if we're gonna have like superhumans, or if they're gonna just turn into mangled pig humans, man bear.
They already
pig.
got the mangled pig human.
Yeah, I know they have the. And remember Al Gore's man bear pig? I wonder. Oh, I want to look up man bear pig. Hold on. You remember? You know what I'm talking about?
Man bear pig.
Man bear pig. This could be a reality, guys.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. What is this? This is a figurine. This could be our reality. Man bear pig in the future. I heard that they're doing this in China already decades ago. We don't have the same allowances here. This is South Park is getting so based it hurts. Look at this. Al Gore dressed up as man bear pig. Now, for those that don't get it, basically Al Gore psyoped the country into believing that Florida would be underwater by now. Obviously, he's wrong, and he's rolled back those statements. But, the fact that he had the floor for so long and that so many of these gargantuan, supposedly professional organizations fact-checked and vetted his information first, right, before they made it gospel for a decade. Now we have an entire generation that has grown up thinking that literally their pure existence is the cause for global warming or tornadoes happening. So, it's and he also invented the internet. Shake and bake, you're right. He also invented the internet. How could I forget? So ode to Al Gore, the president that never was, thank God. And may our country forget you, and the chains that be upon your shoulders be lightly. We're going in today. I'm sorry, Morale. I love it. I can't stop, I can't stop, won't stop. And that's just like one of the stuff here. Oh yeah, we got a live view of the White House.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Going on.
I like that laugh.
Right now, in the White House. Now that was last week. I didn't really want to share that at first, but then I was like, you know what? They outdid themselves.
I hadn't seen that.
That was a real commercial that the White House put out. Did you know that?
No.
That's a real commercial.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's the guy in it though.
No, but with the guy was added, Owen. Okay.
It's still terrible.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. I hate
Drew did not like that comment.
I hate how this blocks my way. But then, we had a press conference about the situation, you guys. Here's a word.
There's been zero evidence. Zero evidence. You can ask me, how can Obama be the hidden puppet master for this administration? But there's no evidence. There's no evidence. There's no evidence that Obama is Joe's puppet master. There's none. Absolutely none. And that is just a fact. You can't say that it looks like my hair is the dirty mop the janitor is looking for. You can't say that it looks like I lazily slapped on some of Big Mike's lipstick and horrific eyeshadow. Don't even look that close. That's a waste of time.
I have to. Do you know who that is?
No.
That's our press secretary that's been lying to us. But then superimposed, I believe that's Obama.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's definitely Obama there. For context, I think that this presidency's been a charade and a front for the Obama administration, who has never left office. The movements of it all mirror exactly what his long-term intention was. Really, Trump just got in his way and put a delay in the process. Now it is up to us to pay attention at the polls and make sure that the process is reversed, or you will, be like those FBI agents in Washington, D.C. getting carjacked, right? I don't even think the FBI found the guys that carjacked them. How pathetic is that? How pathetic is that? The FBI got carjacked in Washington, D.C. That's the level that the country is at. So for the love of God, use your profits, take your profits, arm yourself if legally able to in your local jurisdiction, of course, and make sure that you have sovereignty over your life, your money through Bitcoin and crypto. Yes, you have better velocity in crypto than the failing fiat dollar. I can say that 100%. But then sovereignty over your bodily autonomy, right? Remember what they tried to do last time. Don't let another narrative take control of your body. Again, in the next few years. I don't put it past them to try it again. As beyond it as here we in the basement already are from the situations, we're not going to fall for it. It's up to us to be stewards of information, to be loud and in charge of the public square, because we need to bring the light to the masses, man. People are hurting out there. They're getting crushed by the rate of what things cost. And honestly, if I wasn't in crypto the way I am, I don't even have an idea of how I would be taking care of my family appropriately, given where things are headed. So with that, there is a lot of problems in the world, but we can be the solution. You can move beyond it, be the bigger person. Stay strapped or get clapped, as George Washington probably said. Correct,
That's
DOD
right.
slave. That is accurate. You know what I mean? And an armed society is a polite society.
Feel better, Kelly.
Oh, yeah, Kelly's in the chat. Is he sick?
Yeah.
Kelly in the chat. Lab coats in
Kelly.
the chat.
He's got sick. Everyone's getting sick.
Yep.
Yeah,
Jumping
for
like
real.
flies.
Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. I was probably already sick. I don't even know. Because when I'm sick, I don't have a chance or a choice to stop. And when you have a mindset that will not allow for failure unless you're dead, you kind of miss some of those things. I'm sure Kelly is hella sick. I wanted to bring this up though, because a lot of people are worried about this little pneumonia scare and like, oh my God, is this going to get me? Right? They're talking about, there's so much fear about medical problems. Just, look at the old ways of doing medicine. If at all possible, onions and I think it's onions and honey are like
Honey,
one of
for
the
sure.
best cough syrups on the planet. And no one in mainstream media wants you to know that. It takes away their dollars, right? It takes away their money if you're using natural additives to fix yourself. But there are so many good things that are naturally made that you can use to kind of fight back against, just getting stuck on these pharmaceuticals. And honestly, it feels like a gigantic blackmail Ponzi scheme to me, this medical system. I have a daughter that needs medicine all the time. And, the medicine's not expensive. They charge so much more than the medicine cost. It is pretty disgusting. I hope that someday we see a strong DeSci project outside of the gigantic consortiums that's not bought out, come out and actually decentralize information and science in that regard. But that's a tall order. And in that, what I always say, you got to crawl before you can walk. First, we have to build out the infrastructure from Web 2 to Web 3. That's going to be data flow integration. That's going to be actual blockchain-based internet systems. And from there, we can implement all of these fancy, wonderful, fast-moving layer 1 systems that we all have come to love and see the real potential of this market. But probably that's going to be somewhere around 2030, 2032. This next cycle, it's going to be huge. But I really think that the real big application of blockchain isn't even around the corner. It's coming in 5-10 years from now. There were still if you look at it from afar, and if you're watching this video a year from today is right around the end of 2023, you'll be wondering, am I too late? No, the answer is no. You are right where you should be. But it's up to us here. Everyone in the chat, Gold Blooded, Scotty Swing, Hope E, Chuckle Mang, Justin Eubanks, Nicole Ministator, Crimson Caravan, Mario Cantonese. It's up to all of us. Hannah, Morel,
Dang.
Owen.
Hey, if you're still watching, hit the like button. To shoot.
Owen's falling asleep over there. I had to wake him up.
Wake up.
But yeah, it's up to us, you guys, to wake up the masses, get this information out everywhere, because we have a good solid 6 months of buys that your friends are going to be pleased with if they have the fortitude and focus to make it to mid 2025 with the bags we're building now. So I hope you all in the chat are doing just that, stacking and getting ready for an absolutely cataclysmic blow off top, because that's what is coming as we see Bitcoin spot ETFs get closer and closer to approval. It's going to rock the world. So with that, I hope you all have a fantastic day. We're going to go set up ATB, get a couple things cooking, but appreciate you all. We'll come back at you tomorrow, maybe with some cataclysmic news. Maybe we'll go to hell. I don't know. Goodbye.
Ooh.